Chapter 1 Swift. It was early Saturday morning and there was still a fog in the air. Breakfast had just been served on the house on the hill, and the sound of kids playing, running, and laughing could be heard all the way down to the valley. When suddenly, a crash. Now, usually a crash means that something bad has happened. Well, it did. And let me tell you, Mother was not happy about this. She shooed the kids out, telling them to take their play outside before she has to spank one of their bottoms. The two siblings rushed outside, but one of them, Elliot, stopped when they got a whiff of Auntie's famous pie that was cooling on the windowsill. It was a rare occasion for Auntie to visit, usually a holiday or special family event of some sort. This time, their cousin was getting married and they were using their beautiful yard behind their house on a hill for a place of their marriage. Auntie loved to bake. Every time she visited, she would bake cookies, bread, cake, muffins, and of course, her famous pies. Auntie could make any kind of pie, sweet or savory, and both were mouth-watering good. Elliot, or Elle as they often went by, was just reaching out to grab it when their mother swiftly smacked them on the wrist.
You don't want Auntie's famous pie to burn your mouth, do you?
Elle looked up at the mother with big doe eyes and shook their head.
Go on now, the indoors is no place for running around, and if you break one more plate, your little hiney is going to regret it.
Just then, Elle's mom looked around quickly, broke off a piece of the pie's crust, and gave it to Elle. Even the crust alone was to die for. Elle popped it in their mouth and ran outside giggling. Elle was the younger of two siblings. They were often teased for being shorter and slower, but what are older siblings for? Sam was their older sister and had a strong imagination, and they often played pretend. Even if she was considered too old for such a thing, she one day dreamt of being a writer and always told the best narratives for them to play along with. When Elle got outside, she saw Sam crouched in front of a bush in the corner of the yard. Elle ran over, curious as to what she could be doing. When she tapped her on the shoulder, she turned around so fast it scared Elle to stumble backwards and fell onto the ground where Sam was holding something to Elle's face. Immediately, Elle was almost in tears because of this. Elle isn't the most brave kid. In fact, Sam often poked fun at them for being a coward. She often told stories to Elle before bedtime that were so scary that they had to sleep with their parents for the night. Sometimes when they played together, it felt so real to Elle that they could have sworn what was happening was really happening. Sam was the best storyteller, and although it was often too much for Elle to handle, they loved it. They even had the best toys and accessories to play with, thanks to their parents. Their father was into woodworking, and often made props such as swords and bows for them to play with. Sam would often tell their parents stories, and the next day, their father would have made a key accessory to go along with the story. Their mother made all of their clothes by hand, and often joined in by making costumes.
Come on, don't cry.
Sam said.
I'm just practicing my swordplay.
Elle sniffled and stood up. Elle didn't like these action-packed stories. They were more interested in ones that would whisk them away to a peaceful land, somewhere magical. Just then, Sam grabbed Elle's hand and they took off across the yard. They could hear their mother faintly.
Don't go too far, children. You know what lies beyond the hills.
And that does it for Chapter 1 of Inktober. I hope you guys are enjoying this story so far. Click here for the next chapter when the day has come, and I will see you there.